Errol Spence haven't lost yet. But I'm not saying it's due to the loss, but I'm saying Errol Spence still have his motto man down. He still got he put Shawn Porter down regardless. And I promise you, Shawn Porter pissing blood today. So so it's funny how tables turn. But on to the next topic, Keith Thurman. One time and one time only, Keith Thurman claimed he did better than Errol Spence against Shawn Porter. How you feel about that? Do you agree?
So I would need to watch the fights kind of back to back or side by side. But I will say that just factually, he did do better because he won a unanimous decision against Shawn Porter, and Errol Spence won a split decision. Whether we want to agree with that or not, when it comes in the judge's eyes, he did a better job.
Who?
Keith Thurman did a better job.
Well, if you're talking about the scorecard, let me inform you on the unanimous decision win.
Okay.
It was 115 to 114. No, 115 to 114. It was 1 point difference, one round up for Keith Thurman and all his scorecards. Errol Spence, the judges that gave him the win, it was 116 to 111. Errol Spence was 5 rounds up. So if we're going by the judges, Errol Spence had like I said earlier, that judge that had Shawn Porter winning the fight by 115 to 111 to Shawn Porter's favor, he needed to be fired because that's no way you could have gave Shawn Porter 9 rounds in that fight. That's ridiculous. But as far as the other judges that had it to Errol Spence, they had him up by 5 points. Meanwhile, Keith Thurman had him up by 1 point. At the meantime,
for all 3 scorecards.
Yeah, all scorecards.
That's hard to do in a 12-round fight, though.
All 3 judges had Keith Thurman winning by 1 round and 1 round only. I checked it out before the fight. So
let's go fact check that. If
I did.
People out there.
So this is the fact check. I don't lie about my facts. I do my homework before I come in. But let me show you.
Why are you doing that? So one thing I was saying, I'm not a one-time fan. I'm actually I don't want to seem like
man,
I'm
quit bugging. You was his fan one time.
I'm hypercritical.
A long time ago.
I can never think of one fight that I was going. Well, maybe against Danny Garcia. I may have been pulling for Keith Thurman.
I'm a Keith Thurman fan.
One thing I will say is that I don't recall anybody talking about, that was a robbery when Keith Thurman beat
everybody
Shawn
was
Porter.
screaming that.
They really?
Yeah, let me show you. See, they had him up by 1 round.
That's 115 to 113.
Yeah,
so that's
bad, yeah.
Okay.
That's
all right.
round,
that was my correction. That's why because you said 114. I said that's hard to do in a 12-round fight.
My bad. I thought it was 1 point. Yeah.
That's 7 rounds to 5 right there. Okay. But yeah, I mean that's a close fight, but it was something that none of the judges felt that Shawn Porter had did enough work against Keith Thurman to get the win.
But it was closer, and some fight. Okay, that's just like saying when Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Alvarez, one judge had it a draw.
Yeah,
do you agree with that?
I think
one judge had.
I think that judge got arrested.
That's what I'm saying. This judge need to get arrested and get body punched by Errol too, because obviously he did not win the fight, Shawn Porter, especially not by 5 points up, man. Come on now.
I mean, that's hard for me to fathom, but
let's talk about the statistics as far as Keith Thurman. So Keith Thurman landed 235 punches on Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter landed 236 punches. He outlanded Keith Thurman by 1 punch. However, I gave Keith Thurman the win because he landed the effective shots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we go based on that, Errol Spence landed 221 on Shawn Porter.
So he landed less.
No, he landed more. Porter only landed 172.
No, I'm saying he landed less than Keith Thurman landed.
No, I'm talking about as far as
compared to each other.
Yeah. No, you can't compare the fight. You compare it to each other, and I think that's just the body shots. And that's 221 to Shawn Porter 172.
172.
Yeah, total jab. Errol Spence landed 37 to Porter 30. Power punches, Errol Spence landed 184 to Shawn Porter 142. So he outlanded him by 50, 60 punches. Shawn Porter outlanded Keith Thurman by 1 punch. Keep in mind, Shawn Porter got dropped by Errol Spence. So who is more dominant? If we're being honest, Errol Spence is more dominant.
So this is why I think that a lot of people saw a clear decision for Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman fought his fight. Keith Thurman, some people said, oh, he was on his bike. He used his movement, and then he didn't get into. Sometimes he would kind of set down on his punches and stuff, but he was able to put Shawn Porter in certain predicaments and positions that he wanted to. And then so when you looked at the fight, just visually, it looked like Keith Thurman was commanding the ring generalship.
Visually, Shawn Porter was beating the hell out of Keith Thurman too. If you look at it visually, if you look at, in my opinion, Shawn Porter did well against Keith Thurman more so than against Errol Spence. Like I said, Errol Spence, I gave him 4 rounds max. Against Keith Thurman, he won like close to
Well, he won 5.
He won 5, yeah. So it was one more round and he didn't get dropped. And like I said, Errol fought his fight, like you said, right? And he still beat him at his own game. Keith Thurman fought his fight and still struggled more than Errol Spence. But I'll tell you what, Keith Thurman, all you have to do is fight Errol Spence one time. Just one time. We don't want you to fight him 2 times. None of that shit. All you got to do is fight him one time. Don't compare your performances and all that. Man, because you talk all that, I'm going to crucify you, Pacquiao. And then he ended up crucifying you. So it's dropping you in the first round. So, like, let's not talk about, I did better than Errol Spence. When Errol Spence outlanded Shawn Porter more than you did, he highlighted Shawn Porter more than you did. So, if that's the case, like I said, facts prove that Errol Spence did better than you, right? So forget he say she.
One thing I want to say,
get in the ring and
one
fight.
Thing I want to say, I saw the interview and to Keith Thurman's credit is that a reporter asked him to make that comparison. So who do you think was more dominant? So if you're a boxer, you're not gonna be like, oh well, that guy. You're a boxer. You think that you're the best.
Hey, so. Professor Nim, come on now. Let's be honest, man. Tell him the truth. Keith Thurman said during the fight that he had Shawn Porter winning every single round up to the fifth round.
Yeah. So
like, let's be honest. Like the man is clearly biased. Like, ain't no way you had Shawn Porter winning the 6th round, the first 6 rounds. He won 2 max. The first 6 rounds, he won 2 max. Like, you ain't gonna give Shawn Porter every single round. So we know Keith Thurman obviously is biased. Errol Spence told him, man, I won that fight more than I want to breathe. Like, you know how bad you won that fight? So, Matt, you know what Keith Thurman said on the other side? He looked at him dead in the eye and he said, you more hungry than me. I'm not hungry right now. And I'm after a layoff, so I'm going to need a couple tune-ups. He ready right now. I'm not. Like, he don't want no smoke. And I don't think he wants smoke even now because he saw the way he fought. He like, man, Errol Spence, that's a dog. Like, the way he fought.
I think he might have saw some things with Keith Thurman's footwork. And so I think he might have saw some things in Errol that may have given him a little more.
But when you refer, as soon as
to take on that fight,
as soon as you get hit though, like Tyson said, your game plan gonna change. But next topic.